been a while since you guys seen me. I've been so busy. As you guys can see, I look a little black. Shout out to George Floyd. I've been, the past month, I went back to Miami. I'm in the same building I was last time, just different unit. Let's show you guys. The view isn't that great because I don't have the ocean view, but it's still fucking good. Hey, it's Brico, man. Brico, everyone like Brico. Brico's the nice side, but it definitely is overpriced. But I'm only here for a short amount of time. Then I'm gonna go back to Chicago for like a month, and then I'm gonna come back here for like 2 months. I'm basically like doing 1-2, 1-2. Because I miss my parents, and my parents don't want to move over here. But this video, I felt like I'd give some tips for those out there that are like, I want to move to Miami. What should I do? How do you make money? Because for those that don't know, I mean, everyone knows it as like the party scene, right? Rich people, expensive, women, sex, drugs, all that shit. But personally, for me, I'm not too involved in that lifestyle. I like to kind of keep it chill. I like, you know, we have a rooftop pool. I kind of chill out there, work from there, walk around, bike. I'm very casual in that Miami life. But again, this video is more to tell you guys kind of what to expect. Maybe if you guys want to move here, how you to prepare yourselves, because it's definitely a bitch to move here. Even if you have money, it is like, goodness gracious, like you just have to get lucky sometimes. And fortunately, in the building I'm in, I'm very lucky. But I'll explain to you guys that. So I kind of divide into a couple points. First point, you want to move here. How much money do you need to make, right? Shit. If you want to live by yourself in a nice area, you got to be making 90 to 100K at least, because a studio will get you like $2,000 to like $4,000, and you're like, well, I make $4,000. That's enough. It is, but for most associations, it's not. They usually require you to make at least 2.25 or 2.5 times. So if your rent's $2,000, you better be making at least $4,500. So if my rent right now is $3,000, do the math, right? But there are some places that are a little bit more lenient. Again, it really depends on association. In general, like 90% of them, they require that. But if you want to live somewhere that's not as nice but still decent, there's a lot of other areas, like Brickell's the high-end area. There's the islands, Hibiscus Island, Star Island, Jungle Island, all that bullshit. But you can still find decent rent. Again, in general, it's expensive. Like, if you just want a studio, it's probably going to be $1,400, $1,800 easily. Most likely $2,000, even if it's a non-Brickell, which doesn't make sense, because you get a studio. Let me show you guys. And that building right there, that big one, granted the amenities suck, but you can get a studio there for $2K. Yeah, some places in like Little Havana, which is like, you could say it's like Little Village in Chicago, a lot of Hispanics, it'll cost you $2,000. Again, it just doesn't make sense. Rent here is just discombobulated because supply and demand. But you could probably live well off 70, 80 if you have no debt. Don't get a place here, get a place somewhere else. You can still do pretty well. In terms of areas, there's Brickell, right? There's Coconut Grove, there's Coral Gables, there's Little Havana. There's Wynwood, there's Edgewater, and then there's Miami Beach. Those are kind of like the main areas everyone knows. They're all pretty good. Miami's still developing in a lot of places, so even if there's like a nice area, you'll find like a block with that's a literal trap house. Like in Little Havana, you have the place everyone recognizes as 8th Street, which is nice. Realtors are like, this is an amazing place, up and coming. Yes, but again, there's still plenty of trap houses, whorehouses, cocaine. There's a lot of people hooked on it. It's still kind of sad. I just know about it because I just traveled a lot, in those areas, because I just like exploring, kind of talking to people and being like, hey, why is this block so much nicer than this block? Why is rent here $1,200 and literally 30 seconds away it's like double or triple? Again, gentrification is kind of in progress, but yeah, I would say at least if you have a roommate, you can get by with 60K, but if you want to live comfortably, 70 to 80. If you want to live in a good area, fucking by yourself, definitely at least 90 and above. But one person may say like, well, the jobs, how do I even get that? Because like Miami, like the job market fucking sucks, and it does. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty fucking bad. I'm one of those remote workers that like, oh, everyone complains about, which I totally get why. Because again, supply demand. If everyone has the option to live wherever, I would say most people live in Miami. The weather's nice, the city infrastructure is nice, the tax laws are pretty lenient. But yeah, the job market here is rough. There's a couple things I recommend. One, it depends. If you have a STEM degree, don't find a job here. Find a job in Chicago, New York, or Los Angeles that's remote. You can always, and maybe this is wrong, but always lie about your address, move to Florida. But some companies, like my company, allows us to move wherever you want. So again, if you can get a job with Chicago, New York, LA, or California salary, and then come here, they're Gucci. I applied to U of M. I got a job offer there. Same thing I'm doing now, but for like, it was ridiculous. It was like about, I would have to give up like 80% of my, like I kid you not, 80% of my current salary to get a job there. I got a job offered HSBC, which is a pretty good big bank, right? They only wanted, it was like a global funds analyst trader. I think that's what the title was, some weird wonky title. And they only wanted to offer 60. I'm like, that's great. I can't really afford, imagine working for one of the biggest banks and then you're kind of like, since rent here is so discombobulated, you're just living basically in the hood, which kind of sucks. But here, job market is kind of bad, but there are ways to make money. There's a lot of rich people. This sounds funny, but there are people that fucking, cleaning ladies make around 100 to 200K a year. Like, I kid you not like third-party contracted cleaning ladies, but like, let's say I wanted to clean and I know a whole bunch of people in this building. I can make that amount of money, not taxable. How do you do that, Sam? Think about it like this. And again, I was asking all the cleaning ladies around here, like the independent ones, not the contracted ones. They charge at least 100 a studio. This building has 500 units. When you're with quote-unquote rich people or higher income people, it's extremely rare they do things themselves, such as groceries. They don't do that themselves. I'm one of the few that actually goes to the store, walks, grabs my shit, and comes back. Usually people have other people do that for them. Cleaning, I'm one of the few people that does it for themselves, but again, most people just hire someone. Nails, they hire someone. Tiling, they hire someone. Like, any laborious task is usually outsourced to someone. And if you can find a couple clients or a couple people to work with, like there's one old lady here, for sure, I asked her, she says she has 60 units that she cleans here. Let's do the math. 60 people that she sees a month in this building, she charges at least 100. 60 times 100, you see what I'm saying? And that's untaxable, which is insane. Yeah, it's insane. So, and some people have a shit ton of work. They do 5 or 6 units a day. Because I mean, realistically, like my studio, you can clean that shit in at most an hour. But yeah, I would say any laborious tasks. And we have an advantage, or I have an advantage, or the younger generation has an advantage in a couple ways. One, these old fuckers are gonna die soon, right? So there's gonna be spots to be filled. They don't know what to do. So what a lot of people do, again, Miami's still left behind. First class money with their World Country Services. You'll see like an old lady go to one of these buildings, have a business card, and then they hand it to the front desk, and they're like, if you know anyone, please recommend me. That sounds great, but then your business is kind of like the doorman's the arbiter of your fucking business, right? If they choose to say it, they pretty much have control of the who sees your business. But what you could do is, again, most people don't know this, I guess it's common sense, all addresses are public, right? Like this building or that building, 1200 Brickell Bay Drive, that's public, but you don't know who to send it to, right? Because there's units in the building. So what you could do is just get the floor plans, get all the unit numbers, then mass produce your fucking business cards and send it to every single unit in every single condo. You could do that, which will be cheaper in the long run, or you could use USPS services. They have something called EDDM, Electronic Delivery to Door Mail. You basically pay to use USPS's routes. You give them your business cards, pay that amount, and then they send your business cards to all the units to you if you don't want to do the manual work. It's going to be a little more expensive, but I think for the first time to do it, do that, invest in, see how far you can like net your fucking network with your business and shit. So I think that's pretty good, whether it's cleaning, whether it's car washing, whether it's fucking taking care of kids, taking care of dogs. There's one bitch here that literally just does dog walking and takes care of fucking pets in the building. Yeah, she's making a lot of money and shit. Yeah, there's so much money here. So, again, there's a lot of job opportunities. You just have to kind of look at the rich people, see what they need, look at what the market price is for whatever. So if you know that, like, because I know for a fact I have like 20 business cards, I kept asking. If you know that the most common price, let's say out of the 20 I got, 18 of them charge $100 to clean a studio. You might have to undercut a little bit, but if you're making $80 cash, that's still pretty good. Have like up-to-date technology. A lot of these old people have like ghetto-ass vacuums. Like their cleaning supplies are very old. Again, these are old people. They're not going to uline.com to see like top-of-the-line portable vacuums, top-of-the-line janitorial equipment. Again, a lot of people are behind here. Younger generation, we have technology in our hands. We have ways to promote that other people don't know how to promote. So that's something you have to keep in mind. Because the job market here is shit, unfortunately. And thank God I'm fortunate enough to not have a job here. But in general, if you're like, I want to move to Miami, I should work in Miami. Don't get a job here unless you are, if you're a girl, you work as a waiter, you'll make a lot of money. If you work at a high-end luxury restaurant, you'll make a lot of money. Because there's like one restaurant down here, the servers make 6 figures at least. Again, you're dealing with rich people, so pick your poison, right? But if you're willing, if you can deal with that shit, then I think it's a good job. Like some of them literally live in this building, and you know, in this building you have to be making like at least $7,500 a month to live here to even get approved. So it is what it is. So yeah, so I talked about what moving here, trying to get a place here. Yeah, it's hard. What I would do, this is a tip for me, and maybe you guys have heard this. If you guys see units on Airbnb, you can contact the owner directly or the co-host to get in contact with the owner, and you can negotiate rent. That's something I've done where it's like I saw it, like this place, I did that. You can do that with a lot of other places around here. You can kind of negotiate rent, negotiate short-term leases, because a lot of people, there's so many weird laws here, but let's just say if you find a place and you can just pay the entire lease up front, they can sometimes give your rent cheaper. So let's say the place costs $4,000 a month. They haven't found anyone to rent it out within the past 2 months. Just say, hey, I'll rent it out for 3 months for $3K. I'll give you $9K up front. Call it a day. You can do that, and Airbnb is sometimes like the funnel to do that, so it's a little tip. Or if you get the for rent signs from direct owners, do that. They're willing to work with you a little bit more. Realtors here are not fun. Realtors here know, like, they see things differently than we do. They see us as numbers, so they're like, yeah, why would I lower it? But if you talk to an owner and you can say, hey, I can rent it out ASAP, good references and all that bullshit, then you can kind of negotiate rent by a couple hundreds of dollars, or even $1,000. I don't know. It really depends on the unit, but that's a little tip I can give you guys. Let me answer this really quick. It's a stupid email, sorry. What else? Dating. Yeah, dating here, it just doesn't work. I'm pretty sure I told you guys, like, it's just so many girls here are prostitutes. And it just is what it is, right? Like, some girls are just like, well, should I respect men? I can get a better guy because I have hundreds of guys sitting on me. Why should I settle with the guy, even if you make decent money? Like, they'll be like, why should I settle with the guy that makes 100K when I have a dude hitting me in my DMs that makes 500K? And then that constant toxic loop kind of goes on. And also, women are retarded here because it's just lack of education. Fortunately, you know, people that come outside of here, they're cool people, but a lot of locals, and this doesn't mean they're bad people, it just means that they're kind of dumb in the sense where it's like, yeah, this is how dating works. Yeah, guys don't want to date whores, and they're like, what? But that means I'm good at sucking dick. That's like a common one I hear. Or a girl will be like, well, yeah, I want to be like, I can get money selling my pussy, why not? Like, I just want to get the bag. There's just a whole bunch of fucking retards. Dating here is not fun. Like, I've encountered MILFs, and even I'm disgusted by them. As beautiful as they are and successful as they are, because they just, the way they talk, the way they act, it's very rare to find a normal girl here. So if you're trying to find this girl to date here, don't. I'm like learning to avoid Latinas in general because it's all about money for them. Like, oh, I can get this off you. I can get this off you. And it is what it is. I'm not salty. Like any L's I've taken, whatever. It is what it is. Some people have to learn that way. They always say, wise man learns from others. The smart man learns from his own mistakes. So I'm kind of like crossroads between that. But yeah, I think that's a little overview of how to move here. I guess not really how to move here, but just general things to look out for. There's a lot of money to be made here. One last tip I can give you guys, which is what I'm doing with my 2 side businesses, which is why I haven't been filming too much, because it's a lot of time. Like I said, work with rich, and I shouldn't say work with rich people. Look at the rich areas and see what they need. Look at condos, the higher end condos, see what they're missing in. Remember what I said, a lot of people are dumb here. So, like here, I'll give you guys this example that I'm doing right now. A lot of buildings here, they have daily logs. And a lot of buildings here keep track of their daily logs via Microsoft Word. So they type it, and then they type the time, and then they type the unit, and then they'll have like a long-ass daily log, and it's ghetto as hell. And again, think about it like a reporting. Basically, they're generating reports of Microsoft Word, and every time a new daily log is needed, they have to use a different Word document. That's pretty inefficient, right? You have Access, you have Power BI, you have other reporting tools. Hell, you have fucking Google Forms. So right now I'm making like a reporting tool for 2 buildings right now using Access. Very simple. It's literally their daily log, but in Access. Why does that matter? If I can look at, again, this kind of devolves to a whole bunch of other things, why this is important. If you can have insights of what goes in and out of your building, you can kind of find like a narrative of what's needed in the building. For example, this building, I can tell you gets on average, at certain days, we'll just say Fridays, 50 Uber, or we'll just say food deliveries in an hour. That's a lot. And the door person is spending time putting shit into the daily log, spending time calling the owner that their food's here. Again, traffic, elevators, it's just a huge fucking shit show. So why does that matter? Why does knowing the insights of a building matter? So again, something else that I'm working on is because there's so much delivery traffic here, you can kind of alleviate that. There's something called a Minopod. I'm working with them, and I'm working it to get across these condos here. Basically, it's a fridge, automated fridge that works with Uber, Grubhub, and DoorDash. You go, you press the apartment number, the box opens up, you put the food in, closes it. Person that made that delivery gets a notification, they pick up the food, good. That basically gets rid of all that traffic and all that work that the doorman has to do to put you in the elevator, because most elevators need a key fob. Again, they don't have key fobs, and they have to find the unit. They might not know the unit. Some buildings are confusing, so this kind of cuts all that. So again, from that reporting tool, I developed insights. I saw that there's a lot of deliveries. How do we stop, or how do we reduce traffic of that deliveries? Wow, there's an invention called the Minopod, the Pick-a-Pod, that stops it. You see how kind of things go one-on-one? So that's a lot of things that you can do with these condos that have a lot of money, because people aren't thinking, how do I make a new reporting tool? How do I innovate? How do I make my lives easier? There's a shit ton of money. They have money to spend, but it's really knowing where to put that money in. So that's kind of where I come in. Obviously, this isn't unique to me. Anyone can do this. If you have an idea and you see there's an opening in any of the condos, that's where you can kind of be like, hey, why don't I just do this? This is where we have an advantage in Miami, because people are dumb and stupid. So if you have an ounce of fucking brain power to innovate shit, you can kind of work with them. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that video. I'm a little tired, drained, taking the week off. I'll be back in Chicago next week, and then I'll be back in Miami. Yeah, I'm just back and forth. The grind continues. There's so much money to be made. In a way, I'm sacrificing my fun for it, but again, not having fun now will generate for me having a lot more fun later. I just gotta put the time into it, put the hours into it. I'm not sad, I'm not depressed, I just know what I have to do. And hopefully you guys kind of get inspired. if you guys want to move here, or again, any rich area, just look at what they need and put yourself into any holes that you can be filled, and you can probably have a good opportunity to finally be independent, because I know how it is to be enslaved and shit. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Apparently George Floyd is having a video out. I can't wait to see it. That fucker died from overdose. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. Obviously I'm sarcastic when I say that shit, but later guys. Again, videos will continue. I'm just kind of grinding. I'm basically getting fucked in the ass until I can get the dick out of my ass and, you know, fuck other people. That sounds so bad. It's just rape. That sounds like rape all around, god damn it. But there guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hopefully the grind can continue. Laters.